This doesn't bump start it quite as easily as the 250 either. Obviously, I mean, it's got more compression and a bigger piston. So why would it bump start easier? It wouldn't. It doesn't make any sense. Well, first impressions on the road. Got good power. A lot more power than I'm used to with the old 250. A lot less power than I'm used to with the 500. Somewhere in between. But she's got plenty of power. This is the second ride I've been on after all the modifications. First one, went out with Brian, mostly just hit rocky dirt roads and whatnot. But we did take the highway back and forth from his house. It goes fine on the highway. It'll maintain 70 all day long, but feels like it's winding it out just a little bit too much. So it's not something I like to do. It's not really something I like to do on any dirt bike. Also, like I said, the front tire is a little twitchy, but that's to be expected. It's an off-road tire. It's a motocross tire. This bike, like my other XR, is built to go on the pavement only to connect the trails. Maybe back and forth to work occasionally. I do wish this had a 6-speed transmission like the XR250, but I think the gears are spread out far enough where the final drive ratio in 5th gear is probably somewhere around the same as the final drive gear ratio in the XR250R. It's hard to tell because I've geared down. I'll tell you one thing though, this C-Concept seat makes a world of difference. Makes sitting here on the road a lot more enjoyable. Or I guess I should say a lot less uncomfortable. All right, let's do a little acceleration test. Yeah, I'm missing that 6th gear all right. And 1st gear goes by pretty fast, but that's what I wanted for the trails. I wanted to be able to lug it down low. Ah, get on some dirt finally. One nice thing, the 400 has the power to slide out the rear end around a corner. The 250 really doesn't. Funny. Advantages to the XR line, I would say being air-cooled and being a kickstart only, those two factors keep these bikes pretty light comparatively to their competitors. Most direct competitor to this would probably have to be the Suzuki DRZ 400. Both bikes are dual sports, but lean more towards the dirt. Both bikes have lights. Both bikes have really great ground clearance and suspension aimed at the dirt more than the pavement. The Suzuki has a 6-speed transmission. This has a 5. The Suzuki's liquid cooled. Those factors, air cooled, kickstart, 5-speed, you know, every little bit of weight counts, and especially, you know, if I strip this thing down and put the little baby peanut tank on it, it turns into a pretty formidable trail bike. Right now, I've got all kinds of sparkles on it, the back bags, the back trunk, the big tank. I didn't put the big tank on it, but all those things add quite a bit of top heavy weight. I'll let you know what I think of those weight adders on the trail. On the dirt road, it's fine. I mean, I do like the engine though, the amount of power that it has. It has plenty of torque, lots of low-end grunt, but it doesn't have that intimidating amount of snap that a motocross tuned engine or some of the other trail bikes I've ridden. They just have a tune that has this snap to them that is very aggressive and also causes them to stall or flame out easily when you're trying to lug them down low. And this doesn't have that, and that's nice. Let's see here. All right. Now we're getting back to some quad. Let's see how this is. I'm feeling the weight more for sure on this than on the 250. I'll probably get used to it. I'm definitely not used to this thing on a proper trail. But for now, I gotta take it a little bit slower. Ooh. A little slidey. This decomposed granite everywhere is definitely gets a little slidey sometimes. Well, we're cool, man. I got this. Oh yeah, I remember this. So I don't know if I was in second or third. This is first. First is low now, which is great for the real techie stuff, but to be honest, with this kind of weight on this bike, I don't know how much I'll be riding the tech. Maybe I'll strip off some of this crap one day. Whoa. Ah. There's your flame out. I was lugging it too hard in second. Lugging it too low. There we go. One nice thing about these XRs, even though they're kickstart, they always seem to start up pretty easily, and they're pretty easy to kick over. I don't know if you guys have heard of Janus motorcycles, but they are a small handmade custom, not really custom, but a handmade motorcycle manufacturer out of Indiana. They make bikes that look like they're from the 20s and 30s. They're really cool looking. Anyway, they just got a new engine platform for their Halcyon and Scrambler, a 450, which is a Chinese variant of this engine. And China cloned the old XR engine because it's so reliable. Theirs is punched out to a 450, slightly different tune, probably different cam. Does have electric start now. I'd be really interested to ride one of those one day. Because I've ridden this in the 250 so much, I'm pretty used to the engine platform. It's so reliable, it's so easy to work on. It's probably one of the best off-road engines of all time, I would wager to say. They just don't break. Run like a dang sewing machine. Oh, look at the turkey vultures. They found something. And suddenly, I caught the scent of death. Oh, shoot, there goes a big one. I almost hit me. Do you guys see that? That was cool. So other dirt chops I like. The double take mirror. Stays put on the road, stays put on the trail until you hit something. It folds in a little bit, and you just put it back. Awesome. My old Sherby's was a piece of crap compared to this thing. The foot pegs, what a difference. Such a wide, nice platform. You can really put the pressure on the peg. It just feels so much better. The tires, 2 words, confidence inspiring. And I don't really care that they're a little twitchy on the pavement or not DOT approved. Whatever. Whatever. The suspension, I think this thing has Showa suspension. I'll have to put the specs on the screen if anybody even cares. They're really outdated anyway, but they're a lot better than some of the other cheaper trail bikes of the day. These are pretty decent forks for when they came out.
Hey guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much if you've been following along on this build. I want to show you transparency and cost breakdown to illustrate that this was a relatively inexpensive project. This XR is a solid day tripper dual sport that's now a little old, but still super fun and far from obsolete.
I do love, I was on a flowier section of single track back there, and I do love how you can put the power down and slide the rear end out around a corner a little bit. I'm not a excellent single track or motocross rider or anything like that by any means, but it's kind of fun. Moo. So what do I think this thing's for, the way it's set up now? I think it's for long day exploration. You know, the really tight single track, this is going to be a little top heavy. Plus, being kickstart, if you stall it, this does not start as easily as the 250. That might be a tuning issue with the carburetor. I'll have to look into that. But yeah, anyway, like I was saying, this is a great machine. You know, you could take out all day. You could pack some stuff in the bags, pack some lunch in a little cooler with ice in the trunk, and the seat's going to keep you comfortable. I could be out on this thing all day. Plus, with this tank, I think this tank, I'll have to put the mileage on the screen as well, but pretty sure with 5 gallons I could go 300 plus miles on this one tank, which is ridiculous. With the little original tank, I can go over 100, and the original tank was 2.2 gallons, I want to say, and this is 5.2. All that fuel, that adds a lot of weight up high, but you can go forever. The bike will run longer than you will. Oh, hey, Roadrunner. Meep, meep. Plus, going out all day, being a Honda XR, I can go out all day with the confidence that it's most likely not going to break down, even for its age. You know, you do your basic maintenance, check the valve lash, make sure the oil level's good, make sure your tires and bearings are good, and you're good to go. It's got a really wide ratio transmission. I like that. I geared down that front sprocket. That first gear is now kind of a granny gear, kind of a crawler. And fifth gear is still decent on the highway, but like I said, I'm not taking this thing on the highway a lot. It's not what it's for. I also like, you know, if I'm going to go out and run errands, I have a little trunk space to put, you know, something small, so I don't have to strap it to my back or put it under my jacket. But I got the key, which gives me a little peace of mind when I'm, you know, going to the store. Because normally an old XR, anybody can just walk up and take off, if they know that, and if they know how to start it. Whoa. Don't roll on too much torque and speed, Eric. Overshoot your corner, you dummy. Alright, let's check out this trail. See how bad it is.